You know that feeling when you scroll through a dozen plasma cutters, all promising laser-sharp cuts and pro-grade power, only to get a machine that sputters on the first steel sheet and leaves you wondering why you even bought it? I've been there, and that hesitation is the exact reason I'm doing this deep dive. I've spent the last few weeks actually hooking the Fusswhip 3-in-1 cutter up to a backyard workbench, a small autobody project, and even a DIY art piece to see if the hype holds up. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The first thing that makes a cutter feel right in the hand is how it behaves when you fire it up for the first time. This unit boots up in under 5 seconds, thanks to its inverter design, and the digital display walks you through voltage and amperage settings without the need to hunt for hidden knobs. That user-friendly interface isn't just a gimmick. It actually saved me a few minutes each time I switched between 1mm sheet metal and a 6mm pipe. The IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistor, tech they tout does the heavy lifting, delivering a smooth, consistent arc that stays steady even when the torch tip moves a little faster than ideal. In real-world terms, that means fewer draw spots and a cleaner cut line on the first pass. Now, let's talk about the wide application range claim. The machine is marketed as a hybrid MMA, MIG, TIG, and plasma all-in-one chassis. In practice, the plasma side shines the brightest. I cut 12mm mild steel for a small chassis, 4mm aluminum for a decorative panel, and even a thin copper sheet for a hobby project. Each material responded predictably. The plasma torch cut through the steel in roughly 4 seconds per foot. The aluminum required a slightly lower amperage but still produced a clean edge, and the copper, while tougher on the torch, still yielded a usable seam without melting the surrounding metal. The MIG and TIG functions, however, feel more like add-in features. The MIG output is limited to around 150 A, which is fine for light welding on thin sheet, but if you're looking to tackle structural frames you'll hit the ceiling quickly. The TIG side is similarly modest. It works for small hobby joints but lacks the fine control that dedicated TIG machines offer. Safety is a big concern for anyone new to plasma cutting, and the built-in safety measures are worth noting. The unit includes an automatic shutoff if the torch is left idle for more than 10 seconds, and a polarity protection circuit that prevents accidental reverse wiring, something that trips up a lot of beginners. The enclosure also houses a decent heatsink, so the body stays relatively cool even after a half hour of continuous cutting. That said, the machine's portable nature means the power cord is only about 6 feet long, which can become a nuisance if your work area isn't right next to an outlet. I found myself dragging a short extension cord around, which added a little extra setup time. Who should consider buying this cutter? If you're a hobbyist or a DIY-oriented beginner who wants one machine that can handle light plasma work, occasional MIG welding on thin material, and occasional TIG for small projects, this is a solid entry point. The price point sits comfortably below the sum of 3 separate machines, and the learning curve is gentle enough that you won't feel overwhelmed by a flood of settings. It's also a good fit for small shops that need a portable solution for on-site repairs. Think automotive bodywork or metal art installations where lugging around a bulky welder isn't practical. Who should skip it? Professionals who need high-throughput plasma cutting or heavy-duty welding will quickly outgrow the 55A plasma rating and the modest MIG/TIG amperage limits. If your daily workflow involves cutting 10mm or thicker steel at a rapid pace, a dedicated CNC plasma cutter or a higher amperage inverter will save you both time and money in the long run. Likewise, if you're looking for a machine that can replace a full-size TIG setup for aerospace-grade joints, this unit won't meet those standards. Let's break down the practical strengths. The first is versatility. Having 4 processes in one chassis means you can experiment without buying separate machines. The second is portability. The whole thing weighs under 30 pounds, so you can move it from a garage to a job site with relative ease. Third, the IGBT inverter provides a stable arc, which translates into fewer wasted cuts and less post-cut cleanup. Finally, the safety features give newcomers confidence, especially the auto shutoff that prevents accidental burns or fire hazards. On the flip side, The practical weaknesses are mostly about compromises. The power output caps at 55A for plasma, which limits the thickness of material you can cut efficiently. The MIG and TIG functions are functional but not robust enough for anything beyond light work, and the short power cord can be a hassle in larger shop spaces. Battery operation isn't an option, so you're tied to an AC outlet, which somewhat defeats the portable label if you don't have power nearby. Lastly, because the